Hello, everybody. This is Eric Seropian from This Is My South Bay. And it's been a while since I have done a podcast. And I have a special guest today, Dr. Jeannie Hahn. And she is running for office in the Palos Verdes Unified School District. And what are you running for exactly?
I'm running for the school board. So this year we're having an election and there's 3 open positions and there's 4 of us running and I'm one of the people running.
All right. Welcome, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So when is the election?
The election is November 6th and it's with the general election. So I would encourage everyone to go out and vote. It's very important. But also, especially for Palos Verdes residents, the school board is a huge impact on the community because it sets policies and programs that directly affect the school. And as everybody knows, the school district really impacts housing value.
This is near and dear to my heart because in 6th grade, I moved from Redondo Beach to Palos Verdes. Mm-hmm. And I went to Ridgecrest Intermediate School and all the way at the top of the hill there, pretty much at the highest point of Palos Verdes, I think. And it kind of reminds me of Back to the Future back in the day because it was all wheat fields over there when I was walking home, and now there's $1 million homes that are all over the place there. And then afterwards, I went to what used to be Rolling Hills High School, and now it's Peninsula High, I think.
Yes.
Right? It's not Palos Verdes High.
No, it's not the Titans anymore.
Yes, the Titans are gone. With my Greek god with the thunderbolt in his hand. That was all over the place. That was our logo.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that guy.
Yeah. So give me an idea, a couple of the issues that you're running on.
Well, one of the couple of issues I'm running on is mental health. I'm a marriage and family therapist. Actually, I have a PhD in sociology of marriage and family therapy from USC. Go Trojans, yay. And what I'm really concerned about is the mental health of our high school, middle school, and elementary. I don't know what it was like when you were there, but the things that they're talking about right now is we're seeing an increasing depression, anxiety, and cutting. And to the fact that now that we're hiring much more mental health counselors to actually be in the schools and also have a wellness center where kids could relax. So it's gotten to the point where the district is starting to spend money on those kind of things. So I don't know, what was it like when you were in high school?
You know, I don't remember. I didn't really have any dealings with that, knock on wood, and I didn't. But I'm assuming these days it's a little bit more on the radar, and there should be some money allotted to that. And tell me how you would budget for these subjects.
Well, one of the things is the district is actually hiring mental health therapists. But I think the thing they're missing, and as a therapist, I can tell you that a lot of kids start seeing therapists when they're in a crisis mode, when they've been depressed for a while, have anxiety. And many people who are in the mental health will tell you that when a child or adult is depressed for a while, anxiety, the brain chemistry changes. And it becomes easier to get depressed and anxiety. So one of the things I'm very interested in is looking at how can we catch them before they need counselors? How can we catch them before they need to see a therapist? And one of the things is to maybe incorporate mindfulness. And mindfulness is the thing about meditation, of understanding your body and taking a breath and being able to handle anxiety and depression. And what I would like to do is start that at a elementary level, and hopefully that will give them the tools they need for high school to work with their anxiety and depression. The district has started 2 new programs called Mind Up and Second Step, which talks about those, but we're just at the beginning of that. And I looked at that program, and it's very different than some of the stuff that other school districts are doing. So I think we should take a look at what other school districts are doing, what's successful for them. That
sounds like a good idea. How do you identify a student that potentially is in depression?
Well, one of the things, as a mental health therapist, I'll tell you, depression is one of those things where you start seeing change in behavior. And one of the things people don't understand, sometimes depression in adolescence comes out as aggression or anger, but it's actually depression. And so as a therapist, you have to kind of figure out if a kid's acting out, are they really depressed? And sometimes depression looks like what you think is depression. And one of the things you see is isolation is a big one. All of a sudden, they stop being active in things. You see a drop in grade level in grades. Or you might also see them not hanging out with their friends anymore. They're in their room more. They don't want to talk. So those kind of things are easy to see if you're a therapist or even if you're a parent. just that change in behavior. And I think teenagers are known right now to hang out in their room a lot, but we have to walk into that room and see what's happening because there's a lot of stuff happening in there that parents aren't aware of.
Of course. So how is it on the campaign trail in Palos Verdes? Because when I think of campaign trail, I think of Obama going out, shaking hands, Trump in stadiums making speeches. How is it in a place like Palos Verdes?
Oh my gosh, Palos Verdes is like an awesome town. I can't tell you how many wonderful things I've gone to. I've gone to the Palos Verdes Chamber of Commerce wine walk where you go to different businesses and you drink and eat. And two things happen. First, you get a drink. Okay, that's awesome, right?
That helps.
And the other thing is you get to see new businesses and see what they're doing. So I actually went to PVNet and saw all the remarkable things they're doing. And one of the things as a board member, if elected, is I want to make that connection with community and to try to incorporate them more into our school district. PVNet is already doing holding classes for private schools, and they're doing Python and things like that. And I thought that was amazing, something we can incorporate. I've gone to I've gone to the Palos Verdes Art Gallery that we have up there.
Yes.
And I went to opening night, and they're going to have another one soon. And it was amazing, the art they have there. And they had a food truck, and they have a new cafe with new owners for Stripes, and I've eaten there. I've been to Terranea. During the summer, do you know they have concerts? I didn't know
Terranea on the campaign trail. That must have been tough.
It was a lot of work. I think people have to understand that, but it was work. Yeah, I know. So some of the stuff has been so much fun meeting all the people. And in Palos Verdes Estates, the homeowners association there, they put on a festival during the summer for music, and that's wonderful too. So there's so much to do. Let me just tell you, when I started this, I bought 500 business cards. And I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to get rid of them. Well, I've been through one box already. I ordered my second box.
Okay.
So that's how many people I've met. And the one thing that wherever I go, I have to say the thing that I am most touched by or impressed by is people always ask me what's happening in the school district and how can I help?
Good.
And that's remarkable because these are people who don't have kids in the district anymore. Their kids are graduate out, but they're still really interested in what's happening.
How long have you been campaigning?
Well, it seems like forever, but actually it's only like 2 months, probably.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
okay.
2-3 months. I could tell you how bad it gets by the level of dirty dishes in my sink. So there's a point where I'm like, okay, I got to do the dishes. And my husband's been super supportive, and my kids have too. And I have to say, I know all the great local restaurants now in our area now because I buy for them for dinner. So.
All right. You got a crash course.
Yes.
How many people are you running against?
There are 3 other candidates and me, so there's 4 of us total. And there's 3 open positions.
So 3 out of 4 will get in.
Yes, and I'm planning to be on one of them.
And how long is your tenure going to be?
It's 4 years.
Oh, wow. That's a commitment.
Yeah, that is. I thought it was 2. But then I found out it was 4. And I'm like, what?
You're like, I already printed the business card.
Yeah, I did. It was too late by then. But I was happy to do it because I've been active in the school district. I've had several positions on the PTA executive board. I've been 4th VP, which is safety, 3rd VP, which is education, 6th VP, which is fundraising, and 7th VP, which is legislative. And actually, I'm known on the Hill for getting programs and policies pushed through. One of the things I did on the Hill was I helped push through non-toxic cleaning products at our schools. Before, we were using the same cleaning products, probably when you went to Ridgecrest. I don't think they've changed. So my daughter was coming home ill, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I went to the school, and I saw the chemicals they were using, and I was really shocked. And what happened with that is I looked around at other school districts, and we are one of the last school districts with the same social economic stature that have not gone non-toxic green.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
It's still going on?
No, what I did is I got parents involved, and I talked to the district, and we worked on that. And so now all the cleaning products in our school district are not toxic and green. So that was a project that I started and I finished. And you know what? I have to say it's so much better for our kids. And I think it takes parents or people who are looking around and trying to say, what can we do better? And that was one of the things that I worked on. And I have to say we did it within budget constraints. That means it didn't cost us any more. And that's one thing we have to look at, how we can change those kind of things.
Okay. And since you're running for this position, you live in the Palos Verdes area.
Yes, I live in Rancho Palos Verdes. I'm not going to tell you where, but I do live there.
But for how long have you lived in the area?
Over a decade, since my daughter was in kindergarten. I have to say, we came for the schools like everybody else, and then we fell in love with the community and the people. And even to this day, I was room mom. I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
Room mom is the mom who's in charge of organizing all the activities in elementary school. I did it for both kids. So basically, I was a room mom for like 9 years. And I always say it's like getting 2 college degrees. But I did it. I was room mom. And so I know a lot of people that way. And it's awesome because I'll see a kid in the grocery store or at the high school that I've known since kindergarten. They're like, "Hi, Mrs. Hahn. How are you? Good to see you." And that just makes my heart really happy because first they acknowledge me and they're teenagers, which is sometimes my kid doesn't even do that. So that's really good. And the fact that they remember my name, those 2 things.
Well, you put a lot of time into it. So a lot of times you get back what you put into things. So that's a testament to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So I'm curious, what is the catalyst that made you run?
My daughter has a chronic illness and she was ill and she missed a lot of schools during that. And as you can tell, I was very involved in my school district. And what happened was they told us that she would have to go to a truancy board because of her illness. And if you know anything like it, truancy boards is because you're absent with no reason. But her absences were all excused due to medical reasons. She had a 504 plan, which is a plan for kids who need special care. And that's from the state. It's from the state. So it's not just, a doctor's note. It's not just something willy. It's actually a serious legal document. And then also she had a doctor's note chronicling her illness. And so we had a meeting and they told us basically that they would have to send my daughter to the SAR board, which is the truancy board. And that it is a legal board. And once you start that system, you're basically in the legal system. And I remember turning to the school nurse and I said, "What is the worst case scenario if we started?" And she looked at me and she said, "They could take her away from you."
Oh my gosh.
And I think as a parent, that is the scariest thing you could hear. I left that meeting and I called the state of California SAR board and I talked to them and they told me that I don't think your school knows what the SAR board is really about, or truancy board. And since your daughter has a 504 and a doctor's note, this should not happen. But you know what? It was happening to our family. And my husband and I had to get legal advice and the lawyers told us the best course of action is for you to pull her out of school because if she started down that road, there's no guarantee. So at that junction, we had a meeting with the principal of her school and some other people, and they said that if she was absent again, even with a doctor's note, that she can be referred. And we decided at that junction to pull her out, and it broke my heart because my daughter loved going to school. I know she couldn't go to school because she was ill, but it wasn't her fault, and we had all the paperwork done. And I want you to know, we felt so mistreated by the school district because we thought the school district would protect us, but it didn't protect us. And it's because I spent so much time volunteering and working on so many things. I was naive. I was trusting. I didn't realize it. We came out of that meeting telling them we're pulling our daughter out, but they left us really no choice. And as we walked out, me and my husband turned to me and said, "You have to run for board because this cannot happen to any other family." And when my husband said that to me, I want you to know it just tore into my heart because for him to say that, he's an engineer, he doesn't get emotional, but he was so upset the way we were treated. And we said, we can't let them treat anybody else like this. No family should deserve, no family should deserve to be treated in this manner. And that's when I started thinking about running. Before then, I was thinking, I should run because people had said, "Oh, Jeannie, you should run. You've done so much and you pushed a couple of programs through that no one else has ever done." But at that moment, we went home and the hardest thing we had to tell our daughters, "You can't go to school anymore because we can't keep you safe there." And that's when I decided to run because my daughter is a special needs and the district can't treat families like that. All families deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, and most of all, they have to follow the policies and the laws of the land. And if they don't, that's the issue. And I've told this story to other families, and
shared with me that they've had similar experiences with the district. So that's why I'm running. So nobody has to cry as much as our family did. And that there's somebody on the board that understands what they're going through. And I want you to know that after that happened, we connected to the district, and they worked with us, and she's back in school now. But I think it's because we pulled her out that we sent a very strong message that we will not be treated this way. So now that I'm running for board, I'm running for all those families that have not been treated with dignity by the school district. And also because I know I could get things done, and because it's just really important that the district understands that kids first, and that's what they should really think about.
Wow, that's a powerful story and explanation. I can see the hurt and passion in your eyes as the tears are running down your face. So I'm sorry that you had to live through that, and I commend you for taking something that happened to you and engaging it and trying to make it better for yourself and your family and for others in the future. Thank you for that. If people want to get to know you more, if they want to engage your campaign or just learn more about you, is there a website they can go to?
Actually, there is a website they can go to. It's Hahn, HAHN 4PV.com.
And everything will be there about you as far as whatever you want them to get to know you and get in touch with you, or email or phone number, everything is there. Yeah,
everything's there. Email me. I always respond to my emails. I always try to talk to people. And the more people I meet, the more stories I hear, and the more I realize there's some changes we can make in our district to make it better. We are actually a very good school district academically and everything else, but I think what we need to do is really hold people accountable to the policies and to help parents with dignity, and just similar to my story.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for sharing. Dr. Jeannie Hahn, everybody. And thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for having me, Eric.
Thank you.